go.
Yeah, okay, so now it's actually recording, which is nicer. So
Hello, and welcome to the Dual Power Podcast.
Your speed skating podcast, where we talk about everything speed skating related, inline and long track.
The last 15 years of speed skating have brought us lifelong lessons, memories and friendships, as well as a trip to the Olympics and lives as full-time professional athletes.
In this podcast, we talk with friends and fellow speed skaters.
We bring you behind-the-scene portraits, as well as race reports, training philosophy, inside stories from the skating world, and much more.
This podcast is brought to you by the Dual Power Brothers. I'm Philip Dusmith.
And I'm Stephen Dusmith.
Hope you enjoy listening.
I'm lucky enough to sit down here with my BONT skate teammate, Diogo Marreiros. I tried to practice the pronunciation, but can you just say your last name again?
Marreiros.
Marreiros, yeah.
Yeah,
I won't really get it, but thank you very much and welcome to the podcast, Diogo. Thank you very much for sitting down with me. It's really nice. Getting a little bit of interference from the phones, but I don't know. Yeah, now it's better. Okay. So just to start with, to get like a short introduction of yourself, if people don't know you, you're a Portuguese full-time speed skater, and you skate, like I also said, for the BONT skate team. And last year, the 2018 season, I think, was really a breakthrough season for you in senior. In a way, you took 3 medals at the European Championships, and also you were very, very close at the World Championships in Holland last year in Arnhem to take the world title. So you're getting closer, it seems like, yeah?
Yeah, it's been getting closer every time, and I think by the results shown till now in the Europa Cup in Lagos and also here in Geisingen, my best results yet here. I think once more I'm proving that I'm working hard, keep on improving from here to here. Didn't settle in with the silver medal last year.
Yeah.
Of course, it was really important, and I was really motivated, but it was a bit bittersweet because I became with the same points as Zapata.
Yeah,
we both finished 14. It was just a matter he finished in front of me, so
yeah,
I was happy and a bit mad too
at the time.
But
it
was good because it motivated me to another
now
level. Yeah, and
now you're hungry.
Yeah, I'm really hungry for this year.
I remember that race. That was an intense race as well. And I was margins in the end, yeah, for sure. So again, welcome to the podcast, and thank you very much for sitting down. I really appreciate.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no worries, man. I enjoy it. So I know that earlier you had some videos and so, and you did it together with Pascal, and Pascal always liked to video you because I think he knows that you're an all-around good guy and you are a professional guy, but at the same time, you're super chill, man.
Yeah, the most important thing for me in these last 2 years, it was all about having fun. I had a bit of a rough year in 2017, where I lost my longtime teammate. He quit on skating. Martin Diaz, he was always traveling with me, and so 2017 was a bit hard for me, pushing hard alone. And with the Europeans also in Lagos was a lot of pressure, and I think I took a bit of that pressure in, and I burdened out a bit from training, and trained too hard. So then for the couple last 2 years, I took a step back, relax a bit more, try to enjoy a bit more, and obviously
it's working out.
Has been paying off,
and I think that's the best way to do it. You enjoy what you're doing, and at the same time you're pushing yourself, and you're improving. So that's the perfect spot to be in, I guess.
And you were talking about the stuff with Pascal. I also enjoy doing that because I think it's a really good promotion for the sport, and I wish the sport could have much more visibility, like stuff like this with these podcasts, stuff like the videos that Pascal does. I'm always happy to participate because I think it's really good stuff for the sport, and with all the internet, YouTube, all the technologies, I think we can we can take advantage of that. Even if the brands don't support us, we can do our own stuff, and we can do nice stuff.
We need this in the sport. We need these kind of things and these people doing this, and we also need the kind of people like you who are like the role models, and because it's not just about skating fast in circles. I feel like it's about the people as well, and having the cool people around who make the show and who make it who make it in a special way. And I feel like you're definitely one of those guys as well. I'm happy to hear that you're aware as well of your position, that you can promote the sport, and you're actually doing it. So I respect you for that, honestly.
For sure.
And like another thing that you are very vocal about, and you can tell, like, I think everybody in the sport knows that you're from Lagos, yes, in Portugal.
Yes.
When did you start skating, and did you skate there the first time?
I started in Lagos. Luckily, Lagos had a big background scene from skating back in the day. We started with hockey, skating hockey.
Yeah.
It's big in Portugal, and we had a lot of skaters.
Yeah.
And then we had my coach since then. He's still my coach till now, and he's really passionate about skating. And he made the scene grow to a different level.
Yeah.
And I've been able to enjoy that developing and growing up with the sport.
Yeah.
Growing up from winning races in Portugal to start racing in Europe.
In international races.
Yeah. Start to win medals in Europeans, in cadets from juniors. And
did you do hockey as well?
And I did, but just for fun. Never,
just for fun.
Yeah, never played the series.
When I see you skate, I wouldn't be surprised if you played hockey all your life.
My skating, it looks a bit like a roller derby, quads kind of skating.
Your style is very it's very fast. I remember one time in a race, I think it was in Herder or something, and we're in the race, and I got your back, and we're in the same suit, so I was like, I'm going to follow you. And we're in an elimination race. And I just remember you start jumping the small gaps on the inside. And I was just like, no way, I can't do that. So then I found Gary on the outside, and we moved up on the outside.
Yeah, I think it's also a bit from my background, because we didn't have much knowledge about like all this technique stuff and the stuff we were doing in Portugal. It was more about the skill side of skating, like obstacles and those kind of courses. And then just when some Portuguese coaches started to go to Italy to do the degrees, coach degrees, and that was also another good step in the right direction. And from then we try to improve a bit, but there are some mistakes there always keep. But some kind of mistakes we did. It was also good, because it's a different kind of skating, and with the busy races like France and technical tracks, I get along really good, and it's good for me.
When I see you do the track races and moving in the pack, and even your technique, I think now it's one of the best out there for the tracks, because you can move. But I think, and this is my opinion, but I think what you maybe call the mistakes of you growing up and not knowing what to do and playing around on skates, I think that's a really, really good background to come from, honestly. When you're as a kid, play around on the skates, do all these things, and then later in life get more specific, I guess, with the training. Yeah,
especially in track races, that normally is where I feel more comfortable. I think having that agility and being really comfortable on skates, I can do whatever I want from my skates, and that is a really important trick on the long distance races, like especially elimination races. To be able to move around quickly through every kind of holes, make the crazy passes. And it's a bit of my style.
You need to teach me, man.
Yeah, that's why also I do good also in some short distance. It's because of that. I'm not too quick to the start, but then I can pull some nice moves, and that's the style I like to race.
And you can tell when I watch 500 meters, 1,000 meters with you, you can tell that you have the pure sprinters who have a really fast flying lap, and probably faster than you. But you can start to do, and I think this is a shout out to Gwenda, the champion.
For sure.
The maestro.
I've been lucky enough to catch some really good guys along the way since I joined BONT. I had lucky to be with Fabio and Alexis, and that was really good experience-wise, because I got to learn a lot of stuff we didn't know in Portugal, and about racing, about technique, also
Yeah.
about the material.
Yeah.
What wheels were the best position for the frame.
Yeah.
And then also lucky enough to have Gwendal, that is a like crazy skater, puts every time a great show every time he hits the track, and he's obviously one of the guys I look up when I race and try to transport a bit his style to the long distance races.
Yeah, and I think for everybody listening to this right now, if you can, and if you don't know what we're talking about, you should go on YouTube and you should try and look up some of the 500 meters from Gwendal. I know there's one from World Championship where he's crossing he's crossing the other way on the straight and making a pass. Which year is that? I don't remember.
2016, I think.
I think 2000. Yeah, probably.
Because we had 2 years in a row in each island, so I think one of those years he made that crazy one.
Yeah, so that one to me that's one of the most awesome races to watch, and I rewatched it.
Yeah, it's what it sticks to the people high. We put a video up in YouTube, and people who don't know the sport, they see some stuff of that going on, and for sure they're gonna immediately fall in love.
And that's part of the show, and that's a showman as well, Gwendal. I know, he is a really, really, really fast guy, but he's not always the fastest guy. You know, you have guys like Simon Albrecht who can probably put down a faster flying lap. But when he is in that 500 meter, you just always know he's the guy who can pass at the highest speed, I think. And that's a difference. So for me, he's up there as the best 500 meter skater right now, I think.
Yeah, it's what you said, acceleration. When you're already doing a 14 lap and he's able to pass 3 guys in a hard track like Geisingen, it says all about
not a lot of people can do that, no. Sure. And also... I think for all the other national teams, the French national team with the relay, you also know that there is a guy. That's another race you should probably find on YouTube. That's
But that one was Elton did a crazy.
Elton was. But talking about guys who can move and who have the speed, I mentioned you have the speed, but you're a long distance guy. Now we started talking about the sprinters, and I think Gwendal, Elton. They're up there, like they got the speed and they can move.
Yeah, for sure. They have a really good. They are really agile guys, and you see Gwendal more technical, and I think Elton a bit more like me from playing with the skates. You can see some of his videos also on YouTube, and he's a guy of playing around with his skates like everywhere, every time, and that gives him the ability of doing whatever he wants in crazy situations and pull some moves that nobody can pull.
Yeah, I was I'm gonna say lucky. I was lucky enough to be on team with Elton some years ago with the X-Tech team just for one season, and he invited us for one training camp in his hometown in France. So we were like, yeah, sure, we wanna know what this champion is doing and how he's learning to skate like this. And I remember we showed up, and it was me and the Austrians, and you know how Jakob Ulreich, you know him really well. It's one really good friend of both of us. And you know how I train a little bit, I guess. And we come with our very structured training with the heart rate monitors. And we came and we're like, so what's the plan for the week? Like, what are we doing? And I just remember Elton, because we were going to skate a marathon. And he was like, yeah, we need to skate a marathon next weekend. So I think we should, let's skate a marathon. And he was like, okay. So we went and we skated a marathon around lakes. And I remember like we passed one time like a skate park. And he's like, we should go on the ramps. And I was like, I started, before I started speed skating, I skated on ramps. So I was like, yeah, hell yeah, let's go. And Christian, he was also there, Kromosa, and he was like, I'm not going to get hurt. And me and Elton was playing around. But I think that's honestly who Elton is and how he grew up on skates.
Yeah, it's good for him, and it definitely works for him. As we see him, he does good results when he wants. It's just then that kind of training can also pay a bit of a toll, because then he can be a bit inconsistent. Like last weekend in Lagos, he may be a bit tired, and then he shows up here in Geisingen, one of the most difficult tracks to do results, and he pulls off a second place overall, and that's Elton. You never know what to expect from him and when he's going to be good or not.
Yeah, so let's go into that. Right now we're sitting in your small house. We can get back to that as well, but we're sitting right now in Geisingen, and it's Sunday afternoon, so we just finished the Arena Geisingen International European Cup. So it's the first European Cup for me in the season, and you've done Lagos, but it's the second one from the spring season from you. And you already showed good shape, and like you said, like now Elton shows up, and Elton, he was doing really, really good in the sprints, and he was doing so good in the long as well. So for sure, like he's now in that spot where he's in